I'd like to call the Government Operations Committee to order. Can I please have a roll call?
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Here.
Wirbal?
Here.
Essner?
Here.
Weber?
Here.
Fulkaitis? Folks?
Here.
Bungard?
Here.
Munns? Here. Lencioni?
Yes. All right, thank you very much. We have nothing for omnibus tonight, so we can start off with item 5A. Chief Keegan, you have the floor.
Thank you. Item 5A is a recommendation to approve a proposal for an A6 liquor license application for Thornton's Gas Station located at 2520 East Main Street. This advanced forward with the unanimous recommendation from the Liquor Control Commission earlier this evening. The gentleman from Thornton's Corporate had to fly back to Cleveland, so he is not with us this evening. This is the old Circle K and Corfu lot on the east side. It was rebuilt, or is being rebuilt rather, as a Thornton's. This is a traditional A6 or off-premise gas station convenience store license. The on-site manager is already in place and been vetted, as is the assistant manager. This is a leased property or a ground lease, so Thornton's is constructing the buildings and they're leasing the property itself. Bassett and Dram Shop insurance are in place. The hours of operation for package sales for a gas station convenience store are 7 a.m. to midnight. And with that, I would answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions? We have a motion for approval by Lencioni, seconded by Gem. Roll call, please.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirbal?
Yes.
Essner?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Bungard?
Yes.
Munns? Yes. Lencioni?
Yes. All right, that motion carries. Next up, item 5B.
Thank you. Item 5B is a recommendation to approve a proposal for a D9 liquor license application for Maple Leaf Coffee House located at 1 West Illinois Street, Suite 180. This also advanced forward earlier this evening with unanimous recommendation, and the owner-operator also had to step out this evening but did appear earlier this evening. This is the former Cavadium in the Fox Island Square. It was sold and rebranded and then recently opened up as the Maple Coffee House. This is the second location for this proprietor. His legacy location is in Roselle. This is a D9 special event license, so I'll explain that. This is similar to Cedar Fox. So the event space itself is rented. That would take place outside of normal business hours from the coffee shop. And then this licensure allows the operator, Maple House Coffee, to either have the renter of the property bring in the alcohol themselves, which is a BYOB, or bring your own beverage, and then they would break the seal and serve with Bassett-trained servers, or the renters of the property can bring in someone with an H license, which is a caterer, which is a licensed business that can dispense off-site through the city, or an E license, which is a one-day license. So let's say one of our taverns or restaurants wanted to serve at Maple Coffee House, they can apply for a one-day license. Their license would then carry over to the coffee house. Maple Coffee House is open from 7 a.m. to 3, Monday through Friday, and then from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Most of these events will be showers, birthday parties, weddings, using the patio and so it's a nice location if some of you have visited it. But it did advance forward, and with that, I can answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
Just one question. So they don't have a state license at all, is that correct? They don't need one?
For a BYOB license, they do not. So they wouldn't. This doesn't require a state licensure like a traditional license.
Right. So they can't buy. They can't buy. Correct. Thank you.
Move for approval. Second. Moved by Petrilla, seconded by Wirbal. Roll call, please.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirbal?
Yes.
Essner?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Bungard?
Yes.
Munns? Yes. Lencioni?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next up, we have item 5C.
Item 5C is a recommendation to approve a proposal for a B1 liquor license application for Domo Sushi located at 1890 West Main Street. This also advanced forward earlier this evening with the unanimous recommendation. The owners and operators, petitioners are to my left, to your right. They can answer any questions that you might have. This is the former Throwbacks on the near west side. This is a full-service sushi restaurant. If you look at the menu, I know there's some people in the police department that are excited because it's an all-you-can-eat sushi. So it's a pretty nice option. Dram Shop and insurance is in place. They do have a Crystal Lake location. At one time, they had a Fox River Grove location and a Springwood location. There was an alcohol violation in Crystal Lake. We talked to Crystal Lake. I've identified that in the packet. This was a sale to a minor on a compliance check. We believe it was an isolated incident. I am recommending in favor of the license, but the petitioners can answer questions on that. With that, they do want to open up by March 1st. They are aware of the fact that our licensure is not going to be ready by March 1st, should you vote in favor of it, and they can or they can operate just without the license until it's passed. So with that, myself or the petitioners can answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Moved by Lencioni, seconded by Gem. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball,
Yes.
Fessner,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Bungard,
Yes.
Munns, Lencioni.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next up, we have item 6A. Phil Hanna is going to make a presentation for us.
Thank you, Chair Weber. This item is a budget revision recommendation to recommend an additional city contribution to the police and fire pension funds. This was initially discussed at the January 22nd workshop, where the city's overall police and fire pension unfunded liabilities and related funded status was discussed. As a reminder, the city currently has a 100% funding goal as of the year 2040. The item that was discussed in January was, in order to find a way to structurally improve the funded status of the pension funds, it was recommended that the city consider an additional contribution to both of those funds in the current fiscal year, and that would provide a structural improvement on the funded status of the police and fire pension funds and relieve some of the fiscal pressure, upward pressure on the city's tax levy, of which about 50% is allocated to the police and fire pension funds. This would come from additional positive budgetary variances in the current fiscal year for the general fund. And as we discussed at the January 22nd workshop, a $1 million total additional contribution to pension funds would reduce the upward pressure on the actuarially required contribution by about $70,000 or $80,000, which gets incorporated into the upcoming tax levy. The initial recommendation at the January 22nd workshop was to consider a contribution that would be roughly 2% of the current unfunded liability for both the police pension fund and the fire pension fund. That amount, as detailed in the packet, would be an additional contribution in the amount of $883,000 to the police pension fund and $472,000 to the fire pension fund, totaling $1.355 million. And again, that would be an additional contribution made out of the city's current year budget, which is why it's being presented as a budget revision recommendation. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions? Go ahead, David.
More like a comment. Again, thanks to you and the staff for this. We talked about at the workshop that this is a mitigation to try to, as you mentioned yourself, to take pressure off of the levy. And I noticed in the packet too, in the memo rather, it says we're not committing every year, but this is going to be something that, as a policy, we will look at every year, though.
And we are going to modify our budget policies to say,
Right.
no, this is something that we're going to look at on an annual
Perfect.
basis, based on the current fiscal situation and
Right.
the funding needs that we
If
have.
there's variances and things like that.
Right.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just more of a comment. Just want to thank you for coming up with some alternative options for us to help mitigate the property tax levy increases. So just thank you for what you're doing. Appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? No? Looking for a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Wirball, seconded by Petrilla. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball,
Yes.
Fessner,
Yes.
Folks, Bungard,
Yes.
Folks was a yes?
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Yes.
Bungard was a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Munns, Lencioni.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Next up is public comment. Seeing none, we'll move right along to additional items from the mayor, council, or staff. Seeing none. Executive session, we don't need one. Looking for a motion, a second to adjourn. Moved by Lencioni, seconded by Gem. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Okay, we're adjourning. Thank you.